Welcome back from the break, guys. Right now is my review of Frozen Cortex. The newly named Frozen Cortex, formerly Frozen Endzone, is a turn-based tactical strategy game where you control a team of athletic robots playing what can only be described as American football from the future. The unique setting of the game is punctuated by the uniqueness of playing a non-violent turn-based strategy game that still demands as much, if not more, planning, tactics, and brainpower as its more violent counterparts. In each 5 vs 5 match of Frozen Cortex, you'll plan out where your players will run to, where they'll pass the ball, and where to block opposing players before committing your turn. The game pauses as both you and your opponent plan out the robot's next moves. Then, both teams' plans play out simultaneously. This means predicting your opponent's next moves is a lot more vital to succeeding than in other games like this. If you haven't played Mode 7's previous game, Frozen Synapse, it can take a little while getting used to the new concept, but it only takes a few games to fully wrap your head around it. Once you've mastered it, the game rewards you with gameplay that will feel brand new and unique, even if you've played many turn-based strategy games before. The game does a brilliant job of showing key moments and turnovers in the game, conveying the transition between turns. It is here where the game pauses and lets you plan out your next move. Interceptions, blocks, and successful passes trigger a zoom in to show the action up close, with some rather funny or otherwise impressive looking animations. Even the stadiums you play in look great, and do a better job of showing off the world you're in than the pages of text you're presented with during the single player modes. The models of the actual players all look good from the zoomed out orthogonal or top down view, but when the camera takes over and zooms in really close, is when you can see that they're a little more blocky and less polished than the rest of the game. I would have liked to see these models at the same quality as the rest of the game, since you end up seeing them up close so often. There are a few single player modes to choose from, most interesting of which is Knockout, a kind of roguelike mode where you play a team verging on bankruptcy, and any loss will result in you falling under. This mode gives random upgrades and players in between matches and provides a good challenge and sense of desperation to succeed, whereas the other single player modes tend to be lacking the same urgency. The AI seem to take a really long time to plan out their next move though, usually up to twice as long as the player, and you can often find yourself waiting upwards of 2 minutes while the computer thinks about what to do. Although this game feels like it's primarily multiplayer focused. Due to the asynchronous nature of the game, you can actually play multiple games of Frozen Cortex at once. Although games don't take that long to play, while waiting for your online opponent to plan out the next turn, you can switch to any other game you're currently involved in, using the game menu at the bottom of the screen. This not only addresses the issue of waiting for other people to take their turn, but also gives the game a pick up and play feel, letting you play the game for 5 to 10 minutes at a time before doing something else. Frozen Cortex's best feature is its accessibility. With a non-violent sports-based setting, easier to learn but difficult to master turn-based mechanic, and pick up and play traits, I would strongly suggest any fans of strategy check this one out. So if you haven't figured out by now, I'm at E3. Next week, we're going to actually have a full E3 episode like we usually do. It's going to be filled with interviews, our impressions of games that we've just played. Hopefully more crazy E3 guy. We'll have to see about that.
Woo! E3 2014, baby, let's do it! Let's do it! Let's do it! It's Marvel, baby, let's go!
But that's what you can look forward to next week. See you then.